and welcome back to Aldaria. So in this video, I am playing through episode 27. Now, in the previous episode, I was drowning alone after being pushed off a cliff. So I am very, very interested after these 2 long months in finding out what's going to happen next. I just want to quickly say before I get into the episode that just judging by how episode 26 went with the illustrations, I'm really not expecting to get any in my first playthrough, but I'll probably play through again and see if I can get them the second time round. I've seen that there are apparently 4 illustrations that are available, and BMove did say that you are able to get 2 of them in 1 playthrough, so that's what we will be aiming for. Anyway, let's get into it. Episode 27, Hope Flies Away. While saving you from the clutches of Ashkor, the Gardavel suffered greatly. But you don't have time to despair because the misfortune seems to have fallen on HQ and your friends. Will you be able to find the light in that shroud of darkness that keeps drawing you in? Will you manage to keep hope despite everything that is happening to you? Alright, let's go. Alright, previously in Aldaria. I am not going to read the summary because really I just want to get straight into it. So here we go. Yes, I would like to start. Thank you. I realized that I would never make it and gave a desperate look towards the surface. After catching sight of the last rays of light, I let go and gave into death. Oh my god, it's so dark already. The freezing water entered my lungs and I felt a sharp pain in my chest. I could no longer breathe and I started crying. Crying underwater. My tears were lost in the vast ocean and became an insignificant part of the grand volume of water. Soon, I wouldn't exist anymore. However, fate seemed to decide otherwise. What a surprise! Alright, who's coming to save us? The cold, black water surrounding us? I thought I was in here by myself, but okay. Became warm and turned bright white. I immediately understood that something or someone was saving us, but who or what? I first thought that it was the Oracle. The energy was very similar to hers, but I quickly remembered the invocation session at HQ. And the strange feeling the Oracle had left me with as she was leaving. No, it couldn't be her. So who was it? Eri, wake up, my child. Fafnir? Unlikely savior? I can breathe again. I think I'm out of the water. What is happening? It felt like a sweet breeze was engulfing me and taking me somewhere. I wasn't afraid. The energy was sweet and pure. I trusted it. I let myself be swept away by it, hoping it would take me to a better place. When I opened my eyes, I was lying on the grass of the Demeter lands. It was like coming out of a sweet dream, miles away from my fall. It was a sweet and soothing feeling. Slowly, I tried to stand up, but fell back to the ground. My leg was motionless. I looked around me, and by the time I finally understood where I was, Fafnir appeared before me. How are you? Great, thanks for saving my life. I'm okay. Well, at least I'm alive. Is that thanks to you? Indeed. I came when I heard your cry for help. Thank you very much. If it wasn't for you, I would be dead now. It's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing. Most likely, yes. Just the way they're talking about it is so casual. Fafnir's eyes show sadness. I think he feels guilty for what happened to us. Oh, he should. It was your descendant who did it. After a few minutes, the time for me to come back to my senses, Fafnir started apologizing. I'm so sorry. I never thought Lance would do such an unthinkable thing. Well, I did try to warn you on many occasions. Once again, Fafnir looked away. Even if I don't understand it, I know why he didn't intervene sooner. I already told you, Eri, I can't just abandon my own blood that easily. And also, I can feel that there is still some good in him. It's weak, but it's there, and I can't turn a blind eye to that. How many people have to die before you start to listen to reason? I'm sorry, let me see your leg. My leg got stuck under the rubble when everything collapsed. That's why I couldn't swim back to the surface. It's very torn up. I don't know whether I will be able to use it again. Well, that's a bit dramatic. All this because of Lance. No. Your injury is not that bad. I will be able to heal you completely. Oh, see, it's fine. Fafnir blew on my leg, and I immediately felt a warm breeze engulf it. An intense, reassuring green aura started glowing around my skin, and I gradually saw my wounds disappear. After a few minutes, I could stand up and walk again, as if nothing had happened. It's wonderful. If you feel up for it, please follow me. We need to talk a bit before you can go back to your friends. Oh yes, that's true. The others must be looking for us. Don't worry, I sent a few friends to tell them that you were safe and sound. Alright, where are we going? We went into the Dragon's Council room. The tension here is solemn. However, the statues of the dragons seem withdrawn this time. This is troubling me greatly. What do you want to talk about, Fafnir? This temple is a place of peace for my peers, and I would like it to stay that way. If you or your guard initiate anything, he's threatening us! It is possible that I will have to take action. What do you mean? I'm not sure I understand. Well, Lance is under my protection, just like all the other dragons. If an attack is ever launched against him, I will go after his persecutors. I'm on his side. Well, I'm trying to be on his side anyway. You can go attack the guard all you want. And what if Lance attacks us? Will you stay stone-faced? I will make sure he doesn't attack you. Just like you did earlier when he threw me off the cliff. Or like the past few days when you didn't do anything to calm him down. I was suddenly overwhelmed by anger. I must have turned bright red. I apologize for not reacting sooner, but I have learned from my mistakes and I will not be tolerating any more violence on my lands. I would have liked him to realize that sooner. I feel like I'm getting the short end of the stick here. Is this all you have to say? I'm sounding bitter, but after all, it's quite normal considering I'm the victim here and Fafnir has just uttered threats. An awkward silence settled. Suddenly, Fafnir's requirements were intolerable to me. I will never understand his patronage. Even if he is a member of the family, of the same race, I was finding Fafnir way too tolerant of Lance's behaviour. Well, if we don't have anything more to say to each other, then so long! So long, goodbye, I'm out of here. Eri, I hope you can forgive my passivity and my current decisions. I apologise I couldn't protect you like I should have. I will never tolerate, you already said this, I will never tolerate any violence on these lands again. You are, and you will remain welcome within my realm, you and your friends. Thank you, Fafnir, I will keep that in mind. Part of me calmed down when I saw his apologetic look. Despite everything, I just can't resent him. So I walked closer to him and held my hand out to brush his spectral silhouette. Then I left to go and meet the others. My muscles are shaking as I'm getting closer to them. As soon as Nevra and I locked eyes, I ran and threw myself in his arms. It felt nice. It felt nice, just nice. His body pressed against mine passionately. I immediately pressed my lips against his. I had missed this so much. Nestled against his chest, I indulged in impetuous and passionate kisses. Eri, don't say anything. Again, I didn't let him finish what he was saying and pressed my mouth against his. I didn't need to hear anything. I knew how much he had been worried about me. Okay, if you didn't already know, I am so all for a Lance route, and that's just what I'm waiting for. So I'm here with Nevra like, hi Nevra. I do love him, but still. No, what I wanted was to relieve him from the worry, from the anxiety. I am overwhelmed by consuming passion and I just can't break away from Nevra's lips. We suddenly heard someone clearing his throat. Shoot, I forgot that we are not alone. Enough. I would like to see Aerie too. Evelyn pushed the others aside and came to hug me as well. They all gave her surprised looks. I thought I was never going to see you again. I was so worried about you, Aerie. If I ever get my hands on Lance, I will skin him alive. You can try. Haha, I can picture you taking good care of him using all your medical tools. I'm serious. The next time someone comes after you, I will kill them. Whoa, okay. I have a lot of ready-to-use poisons. Evelyn. No, Leafton. I'm tired of people going after those I love. Until now, I have always been nice and kind. That's over now. Wow. After Evelyn let go of me, I glanced at the two boys who gave me a warm smile. We talked a bit about what Fafnir had said about Lance and about this island where violence was now prohibited. Evelyn got so angry, we had to convince her not to go after Fafnir for his slow response to a big problem. I outlined briefly what I had seen from the dragon's past, but I voluntarily left out the details, which I'll save to discuss later on with Miko. No! Oh my god, I do not like Miko at all. I don't want to see her. Don't worry, we will have time to talk about this more thoroughly once we're back at HQ. True, but in the meantime, we need to take care of something before we head back. Oh, really? Yes, before he fled, I saw Lance go after these poor creatures. The yeah, those things. I managed to take care of a few of them, but there might be some left. What? Lance injured some Dreflayals? And Fafnir didn't do anything? I imagine he was busy saving you from drowning. Yes, true. Well, we must go and save those poor creatures. God, Lance, why do you do these things? Also, we should make sure we're not leaving any of our enemies behind on this island. Indeed, I'm sure Lance wasn't on his own. No, there were at least 10 mercenaries on the island and more on the boat. Those from the boat have been apprehended. Good. Lifton divided us in teams and I ended up with him and Nevra. Awkward. I approached a Dreflayel, which was, sorry, I'm really bad with pronunciation, which was stuck under a rock. Nevra and I managed to set it free, but the little creature started attacking Leafton. I wonder why. Hey, boy, stop. The Dreflayel stopped immediately. It's as if he's gauging us, Leafton and me. After poking one last time, he fled. Well, that one has quite the character. Oh no, this Dreflayel's wing is injured. We're going to have to take him back to HQ so Pururu can care for him. Yes, I hope Pururu can help him. Great conversation. An injured man is hiding in the bushes. What the hell? Leafton and Nevra have encircled him. It's Ryan. Oh my god, you traitor. Don't hurt him. He was rather nice to me. I don't want him to get more hurt than he already is. Reluctantly, Nevra complied and tied him up. Then we took him to the beach, where members of the guard escorted him to the hold as prisoner. Oh, we have to go back? Alright. The creature yelled as I got closer to it. Nevra took over, and I don't know how he managed to do this, but the creature allowed him to do what he had to do. She nestled around his neck. I think Nevra has just made a new friend. I hope Sheetan isn't jealous. Sheetan? One of Lance's mercenaries jumped on me, but Leaftan immediately stormed at her. They started fighting so fiercely that Nevra and I stayed back as we didn't want to get tangled up in their fight. Way to help. Leaftan's moves are so smooth and accurate, I would never want to have him as my opponent. I didn't have time to dwell on this too much because two other mercenaries came up behind us. We defended ourselves as vigorously as Leaftan. Quickly, our opponents understood that I was the weak link. Great. And they all charged me. Leaftan and Nevra, who, until now, were in attack mode, retreated a bit into a defensive strategy. But I wasn't going to stay there doing nothing. I didn't want to disappoint them, and more importantly, I wanted to prove to myself that I could fight. I avoided their sharp swords as best as I could thanks to a few spars I had learned at HQ. But one of the swords was faster than I was and managed to brush my left side. I cried with surprise but quickly snapped back to reality. I was very angry now, and that made me stronger than ever. Never threw me a dagger that I managed to catch, somehow. Holding the dagger firmly, I rushed towards the weakest of the targets. If that was their strategy, then I should do the same. The mercenary took a few steps backwards and crouched down as he saw me heading straight towards him at full speed. Building on the momentum, and thanks to my previous training, I managed to jump over my opponent and land behind him. I held the blade against his back and ordered him to surrender. My enemy surrendered as his partners fell to the ground, dead. Never immediately came to tie up my adversary. Taking a look at our enemies, I recognized Platina. I felt heavy-hearted seeing that they were dead. I was proud that I had managed to take control of my enemy without killing him. Yeah, see? See, boys? As a matter of fact, I have gained fighting abilities. I'm not usually this fast and agile. We went back to the beach to put the prisoner in the hold. Oh, okay, now we're gonna go find some more prisoners. After walking around the island, we finally met everybody at the ruins of Memoria. If all is good for you, we should go now. Valerian and I didn't see anything else. Perfect, let's go then. Just then, a wave of light encircled us. A strange energy, yet familiar, spread around the square. And we finally saw Fafnir's silhouette floating before us. Oh, what does he want now? Thank you. I stepped forward and asked him what he was thanking us for. For taking care of my Draflyels. Considering how we parted, you have been remarkably altruistic. Your generosity will be rewarded. We didn't do this to get anything from you. These creatures needed help, so we gave it to them, that's all. And that is even more admirable. Fafnir came closer to us and started chanting some kind of magical spell. What have you done? Even if you have managed to control the Kraken, really, we did? Who were helping Lance. There will be others waiting to take revenge. My spell will make you invisible to them for a little while. Don't waste time and leave as quickly as you can. With a wing beat, Fafnir flew off. It's weird, but I feel relieved to have his gratitude and appreciation. It's time to go back to HQ. No, I don't want to go back there. Alright, let's go. On the beach, members of HQ are coming and going. They are shipping off the captured mercenaries. In addition to the 2 we apprehended, 3 more were captured. It seems that Lance only allowed his brother and himself to escape. Of course he did. He didn't care about anyone else. There are also a lot of bandaged Draflyels here and on the boat. I really hope Valken didn't take any part in this slaughter. Of course he didn't. However, it's what Mathers told us that surprised me the most. I swear, I saw dragons in flesh and blood flying in the sky. How many? 2. Ooh. They looked very much alike, one with a golden crest and the other with genuine silver claws. And you should have seen the energy, the power. When did you see this? 2 or 3 hours ago. And you only mention it now. I'm sorry, I honestly thought I was dreaming, but then when I saw all these Draflyels being brought to us, I realized what I had seen was real. Calm down, guys. Mathers is still in shock, so be nice to him and don't get angry. I'm sorry. It's not your fault, man. No need to be. Anyway, that means Lance and Valken left the island. If they keep traveling as dragons, they will be easy to track. Yes, let's go after them. Let's get on the boat. We can discuss this on our way. Without further delay, I got on one of the small boats that would take us to the larger boat. The guard had managed to doesn't say finally, to find the boat Chrome and I had lost, which made me feel like I had at least won one of the battles against Lance. The trip was soothing and invigorating because I was driven by the happiness of finally going home. However, something troubled me and I wasn't the only one. Days and nights went by at an unusual pace, giving the impression that we had travelled for weeks. I mentioned this to Liftan, who was as surprised as I was. According to him, we shouldn't have seen so many sunsets. We're lost, aren't we? Not knowing what that meant, we decided to keep going. I made a note to discuss this with Miko later. I was hoping this wouldn't mean more problems. We finally arrived back at HQ after a new dawn, which was even more unsettling than the others. When we got to the beach, I took my shoes off in order to feel the familiar sand under my feet. This warmth, this touch, I was finally home. This is not my home. I don't want to be here. My heart was heavy, filled with affection and nostalgia. My return to the land of Al should have been perfect, but there was a shadow in all of this light, the absence of Valkian. So whenever you're done playing in the sand, I'll see you at the HQ. Oh, sorry, on my way, smartass. I put my shoes back on and ran to catch up with the guys. Sorry, but I'm just so glad to be back. It's a shared feeling, Eri. Yes, it's good to be back home. I joyfully walked through the doors of HQ. Miko happily welcomed us too. And Huanghua, she threw herself at me as if we hadn't seen each other in ages. Well, you probably haven't. Such a warm welcome is exhilarating. I feel loved, and with everything that I've been through, it feels really good. I am truly sorry to interrupt this reunion, but we really need to talk. Follow me. Oh my god, it is so annoying when all it says is to follow Miko and I have no idea where to go. I swear I tried everywhere. Anyway, once again, we had barely gone through the doors of the dining hall when Karuto closed them. We sat around a table, Miko, Huanghua, Ezreal, Nevra, Liftan, Evelyn, and myself. I noticed that Ikar wasn't there, and apparently I'm not the only one because Ezreal asked about her. She has taken a few days off to recover from Mali's death. She will be back as soon as she feels better. Oh, her poor companion. Anyway, tell me everything that happened, and in particular, why Valkian isn't with you. I can tell something unusual has happened, but please tell me he's alive. He is. He just decided to stay with Lance. I don't really know why. Are you serious? What do you mean you don't know why? He did it to save your life, you idiot. Oh my god, okay. Sorry. Let's continue. What? I did the best I could to explain as thoroughly as possible what had happened. I detailed my abduction and what I had discovered about Valkian and Lance's parents and their memories. The moment the guard arrived to save my life, my free fall off the cliff, and the twins flying away. Twins? Twins? Okay. I'm pretty sure that's the first time I've heard that being mentioned. And then our strange and intriguing journey punctuated by fleeting dawns and sunsets. While I was talking, I could see my friends' emotions on their faces. They were going from surprise to fear, from fear to anger, from anger to awe. They all listened to me silently, diligently, without ever interrupting me, but I could see that questions were burning their tongues, and they were waiting for the appropriate moment to ask them. When I was done, Huanghua was the first one to start asking questions and brought up the blue sacrifice. If what you're saying is true, then all our beliefs are challenged. I'm only telling you what I saw, but I doubt Fafnir lied to manipulate me. That revelation didn't seem to shock Lance. It's as if he already knew. It's possible. There were books in the library that neither Ikar nor myself had time to read. Maybe this was revealed in one of them. And now that you mention it, I remember that Lance changed a lot after becoming the leader of the Obsidian Guard. He spent all his nights at the library, tirelessly, without pause. Foolishly, I thought he was being diligent, but now, after hearing what you said, I think he might have discovered this information. If that's the case, I better understand why he hates the Algard so much, the Crystal, and all of Aldaria. Even if that is not an excuse for his actions, I can understand that he got overwhelmed. If we had known, we could have talked some sense into him. I'm pretty sure you couldn't have, but okay. I doubt it. Fafnir tried and Lance was too stubborn. He is blinded by hatred and anger. I don't see how we could manage to. I started yawning without being able to repress it. Reason with him. Sorry. Don't worry, you've been through a lot these last few weeks, physically and emotionally. You should go and rest. Actually, we should all go and rest. After everything that we have just learned, I think we all need time to process the information. Especially me. You mean especially you? God. Of course, I would rather have this stay between us at the moment. Who else are we going to tell? Why is that? These are troubled times, and I don't think it's a good idea to go and tell the people about their ancestors' mistakes. I agree. We should keep this a secret until Aldaria is ready to hear it. Does anyone have anything else to say? Yes, I have plenty to say, but I'm probably not going to get a chance to say it, so I'll shut up. Yes, when are we going to start looking for Valkian? As soon as we know where he is. Agreed. I will send spies to go and fish for information then. Perfect. I was counting on you for that anyway. Go and rest. I will see you all tomorrow to talk about this further. Miko stood up, and I could sense a weakness coming from her. She is putting too much energy in this guard and in this world. I went to Nevra, and he told me he would join me later, as soon as he had sent his spies. Okay, in the meantime, I'll walk around HQ a bit. Aren't you supposed to be resting? That will allow me to catch up with everybody. Eri, oh Chrome, you're back. Yes, Ikara and I came back with Fang Hua. Oh yes, that's true. I remember now. Oh, I remember now. Silly me. Oh god, this is so dumb. What? What? Shoot, he doesn't know about my astral projection, and it's better not to mention that right now. Never told me. Oh, I see. Glad to see you're okay. Thank you. I'm sorry for your kidnapping. It should have never happened like that. What? Nothing, forget it. I see you. You little shit. He dashed away. What exactly just happened? Karen is here, and she's chatting with Kalaya. I walked over to them. Oh, you're back. And whole, which is good news. As usual, Kalaya is clumsy with her choice of words. Not sure whether I find that embarrassing or cute. Why would that be embarrassing? I think she's cute. The three of us chatted for a while, and then they both went their separate ways. I was alone. Great. I must say, this little stroll has exhausted me. I'm going to go and rest. I was pleased to finally be back in my room after so long. I took a quick shower in order to sleep better. After that, I threw myself on the bed with unrestrained joy. It's so nice to be back in my own sheets. Unfortunately, Nevra wasn't here to share this moment with me. He came a little bit later and was obviously exhausted as well. After a few fleeting kisses, I fell asleep in his arms, rocked by his heartbeat. However, this lovely nap was interrupted by someone knocking on the door. I opened it. Is this a bad time? Yes, we were sleeping. Why? I would like to examine you. I haven't had the time to properly look you over since we found you. I kissed Nevra before following Evelyn to the infirmary. This will be quick. I just want to make sure you're okay. Okay. I let Evelyn do her job. I was relieved to know that I was fine. Actually, since the crystal had been broken again, my level of mana had gone up and it was more intense. And according to Evelyn, it was continuously increasing. Should I be worried? No, the evolution is not alarming. It only means that your powers are finally revealing themselves. Does that mean I'm going to change? Grow some horns, a tail, and long ears? I saw what happened to Marianne. I don't want to go crazy like she did. Eri, I can understand that you're afraid to physically and mentally turn into something like Marianne, but you're not like her. Evelyn can read my mind. The mana you have in you existed before the blood transfusion. It is not something we add artificially and carelessly. I know, but I can't help but wonder. I have new powers, new abilities, and sometimes I feel like I can understand what the companions are telling me. What do you mean? No, never mind. I'm probably just tired. Are you sure? I can push back my other examinations if you want. I'll be fine, thanks. Did everything go okay with Lance? Define okay, considering it was a kidnapping. I can say I got out of it alright. He didn't torture me, so I guess we can say it went okay. Sure, it went okay, considering you pushed me off a cliff. She's looking at me intensely. I didn't really understand why. Is there something that she's not telling me? Anyway, I don't really want to think about this too much. I'm honestly tired of spending all my time at the infirmary. Even if I love Everlane, I'd rather see her when she's not working. Okay, you can go. I will see you later. Sounds good. I'd better go back to Nevra, if he's still in the room. There was no one in my room when I returned. I felt sad. I was so looking forward to getting back into his arms. Too bad. Maybe it's because I've been thinking about Marianne again, or maybe because I'm alone without any company, but I'm feeling depressed. There was something heavy and oppressive in the air. I just couldn't smile. I can't stop thinking about everything that's happened these last few months. The potion of oblivion that the guard had made me drink, the different battles we had lost and those we knew who have died, Evany, Mary, Hagley, and all the others. And my recent abduction. I went to the window with an absent mind, staring at my own reflection. I felt like I was attracting bad luck, and I was sick of it. I was weary, tired, and angry. This needed to change. I needed to change. Without thinking, I grabbed a pair of scissors. Oh my god! Whoa! That was so random. Without thinking, I grabbed a pair of scissors, and looking at my reflection in the glass window, I cut my hair. I cut through the thick hair, as if trying to leave behind my inglorious past. Once I had cut the last strands of hair, I felt relieved. How short did you cut it, exactly? Something within me had changed. Immediately, I started stroking my hair and looking at my new haircut. In the process, I rediscovered my features. Up until now, I had a tendency to slouch, but looking at my new reflection, I straightened up and stuck out my chest proudly. I was determined and empowered by a new energy. Okay, so now that's done. I wonder what the others are going to think about it. Let's just hope I didn't mess it up too much. I'm sure they're going to love it. Like they love everything you do. I will only know once I see them, so let's go. Come on, time to be brave. Go outside and see your friends' reactions when they see your new hairstyle. Okay, great. Hey honey, you're back. I heard the guard finally succeeded in its mission. I am so happy. Where did you get this haircut? It's a disaster. Oh god, okay. Come here so I can fix this. Perry grabs me by the wrist while Perry greeted me timidly. Sweetie, you don't just cut hair haphazardly. It's only because I like you that I'm going to fix this. Perry got a strange object out. Thanks to a clever double mirror system, I could see the back of my head. Now I understand why she was calling it a disaster. How much will that cost? 30 miners. Oh god, alright. Perry patched the damage and fixed the haircut. I don't know why, but all the Perricos bent over backwards for me. Perroy fixed me a cup of one of his incredible teas, while Perrico did everything he could to help me relax, thanks to sophrology. Perry's paws are massaging my scalp, and it felt so good, I almost fell asleep. There, it's done. I looked at myself in the mirror, and sure enough, she had fixed up my mess. Thank you so much. You're welcome, and next time you feel like cutting your own hair, come and see me first. Okay. Sure. Oops. I was walking around peacefully when I felt something tap on my head. What is this? It appears Miko tapped me with her stick. Excuse you? My head? No, your hair. I cut it. You don't like it? No, it suits you. It's just surprising. Why did you do it? I wanted to change. Miko slowly ran her fingers through my hair. I know life can be tough, and you have quite a heavy burden to bear. So if you wish to talk about it, come and see me, okay? Okay. Sure, nah. Miko left. This rattled me. It seemed she immediately understood why I had cut all my hair off. Ah, look who's here. Camaria came to me and hugged me cheerfully. So, someone got kidnapped by the biggest villain of the story. Yes, and it was amazing. I mean, what? But unfortunately, the guard... but unfortunately... yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Unfortunately, the guard got there in time. Anyway, it's nice to see you again, girl. I need to run. Camaria hasn't changed one bit, and she didn't even notice my new haircut. Oh, could that be Chrome? Hey, Chrome. Yes, madam. What would you... Eri, is that you? Oh, yes. Who else would it be? I didn't recognize you. You changed something. Possibly, yes. Your bangs, right? You didn't have bangs before, I don't think. I've always had bangs, but you're close. No, I don't see it. Seriously? I'm just going to leave him hanging then. Well, see you later. It was nice seeing you. I touched my hair. You dyed your hair. No, I just cut my hair. Nope, that's not it. See you later. Exactly. It was blue before. Let's do this one. Come on, Eri, just tell me. I left without a word. Hi. Hi. Karen froze when she saw me. What did you do to your hair? I cut it. I can see that, but why? She pounced on me to take a closer look at what I had done. It was so beautiful, long and rebellious, no split ends. By the oracle, what got into you? I did it without thinking, on an impulse. I wanted something new. I have the right to do whatever I want to do with my hair, don't I? Sure, let's do this one. I'm not saying otherwise, I'm just saying it's a shame. Well, don't say. Eri? Yes? What happened to your hair? She started taking my temperature as if this was a symptom of some kind of disease. I reassured her. I cut it! Phew, I thought I started imagining things. You thought it was because of my mana. We never know. When you see the effect of withdrawal on Marianne, what do you mean? Oh, I must have forgotten to tell you about this earlier. The withdrawal is going well. She's even starting to lose her fairy attributes. Yes, I am cleaning up large amounts of scales and she is losing all her feathers. That's good news then. Yes, this gives us hope that she can recover. Actually, Twilda is taking great care of her. I had almost forgotten about Twilda. How incredible that she is taking care of the woman who killed her child. What an admirable person. I need to go and see Karudo. See you later. No problem. See you. Well, it doesn't seem to shock anyone. That's good. For a split second, I thought I was going to regret my choice. Actually, I wonder if there is some kind of potion to make hair grow faster. I should have asked Perroy earlier. Shoot. There is still one person that I haven't seen. Never. And yet, it's his opinion that matters the most. The rest of the day went by super fast. Once again, it felt like night had fallen without warning. After a little while spent strolling under the pale moonlight, I went to the dining hall. I need to eat before Karudo closes. There are still a lot of people in the dining hall, and still no sign of Nevra. I took a tray and sat at one of the quiet tables at the back of the room. Karudo came to see me. Hey kid, feeling down? No, why? I see that you're isolating yourself from the others. It's unlike you. I wanted to be on my own. Okay, I won't bother you then. By the way, nice haircut. I blushed in spite of myself. Thanks. I stayed at the dining hall for a little while longer. Karudo took good care of me. He served me one of his great hot chocolates and a few pastries. Oh, that's so nice. Among them, the cakes that bear animal shapes that I had recommended. This one looks like a krylasm. It's Twilda who figured out the recipe and then made them for Mary. It's beautiful. Well, this is truly excellent, Karudo. Congratulations to you and Twilda. You really are the dream team in the kitchen. It's true, she is so generous in her way of being in the kitchen. I very much appreciate having a support team like her. Is she doing better? She's hanging in there. She's hanging in there. What about you? Lance didn't hurt you, did he? He didn't hit you or anything. I can't remember. No, he didn't. No, he only used his force to make me more compliant. And knowing you, you probably didn't make that easy for him. Exactly. And he didn't touch you. Oh, I guess someone had to ask. Touch me? Sexually. I was stunned by Karuto's words. It's true that Lance could have tried something like that with me, but fortunately he didn't. He didn't. Phew, I'm relieved. Sorry for asking that question so abruptly, but I know how men can be. They can sometimes be rotten to the core. That might be the only flaw Lance doesn't have. Well, you're the first one to ask. Evelyn didn't even question me about that. Maybe she didn't want to rush you. Maybe. Now that I think about it, she did hesitate at one point. She probably wanted to talk to me about this. And I do tend to consider the worst case scenario. Karuto and I talked for a while about this taboo in Eldaria, rape. I was surprised to see how concerned and involved he was, and I must admit that since I've been in Eldaria, I've never thought that this could happen to me. That lays an even darker veil over this world. But this interesting conversation was interrupted by a dreadful scream that was heard throughout HQ. I felt a pit in my stomach. What's going on? I don't know, but let's go find out. We ran to the Hall of the Guards, and I immediately knew that something terrible had just happened. Oh my god, what has happened now? No, that's impossible! Impossible! Miko, calm down. Oh, what's happening? We must save her. Ezreal, do something. Miko was screaming like a wild person. Leaftan gave me a horrified look. Don't tell me that. Oh, what has happened? Oh my god, I'm scared. Oh no. No! I rushed to your car's door, but never held me back. No, don't look. Oh my god, please never. Everyone, please step back. What's going on? Leaftan took a deep breath. I could feel the weight of the entire world on his shoulders. Oh my god! Why do you do this? Oh my god, what the... Oh my... Okay. Okay. That just happened. Okay. Let's continue. What? That's impossible. The crowd just took the words right out of my mouth. At the moment, we can't tell for sure what caused her death. We will release a statement as soon as possible. However, we will need to evacuate her body in order to proceed with the autopsy. So if you could please allow us to get through, thank you. Jumon, Huanghua, could you please take Miko to the infirmary? Evelyn will give her some tranquilizers. She's in shock. No problem, come with me. Wait, he's not saying that. Someone else must be saying that. No problem, come with me, lovely. We all moved aside, and several members of the guard passed by us carrying a stretcher. Yukai's body is covered with a sheet. Oh my god, I can't believe this. Oh my god. When they walked by me, I saw the brownie's arm sticking out from beneath the sheet. It was as white as snow. Then I felt her cold... I felt her cold and dead hand brush my leg, and I felt like throwing up. Once again, death is following me closely, taking out all of the people I know. Who will be next? Who should I expect to lose? Never, maybe? That would absolutely crush my heart. I can't think about this. Not now. Not ever. Come on, Eri. Get a hold of yourself. The guys stayed here for a while to answer all the questions from the members of the guard. I must say that I have quite a few as well. But will they have the answers? Ezreal, can I talk to you? As you can see, I don't really have the time. There are a lot of people talking to him, all at the same time. I totally see why he doesn't have any time for me. You do know that I am a member of the guard as well. I would like to know more about what just happened. We told you everything there is to know about the subject. We don't have any more information. You know I wouldn't lie to you. I know. I won't bother you any longer then. I should better get out of here. Alright. Yes, Eri? I wanted to see you so that I can understand what just happened. I understand, but as you can see, everybody would like to know. Unfortunately, I can't say anything until I have more information. Of course, as usual, the guard is hiding things from us. Enough with the attitude. Leafton just said that he didn't know anything else. He can't just invent information, jeez. Sorry? If you're not happy, just leave and let them do their job. You tell him. The person I was talking to got upset and left. Leafton looked embarrassed. He left to join the others. I don't know why I got so annoyed. I had come seeking answers and I got none. Never. Could you spare a few seconds? If you want to know what happened to your car, I will give you the same answer I gave to the others. Wait for the autopsy. Never snapped at me. He even sounds angry. I don't know if it's because it's late or because I'm tired, but I'm taking it personally. Okay. Sorry, I thought they said O for a second. Okay. Thanks for your response. You've really enlightened me. Eri, don't take it that way. I hurriedly walked away but never caught up with me, and we walked to a quieter place. Eri, what's the matter? It's your car. Once again, fate has struck and hit someone I know. I feel like death is everywhere around me, and I'm afraid the next one to fall might be you. Oh, Eri, don't worry. I'm not leaving you. You're not the one deciding who dies or not. It's fate. To hell with fate. I rolled my eyes and then started laughing nervously. I'm serious. I will fight death if I need to, for you. If we are ever separated one day, I will do everything in my power to get back to you. I will use all the tricks in the book in hopes of seeing you again. Oh my god, Nevra. I couldn't help but blush at the idea that Nevra was ready to give his own life for me. We looked at each other again with eyes filled with love and desire before pulling ourselves together. Listen, I have to go back. We don't want people spreading rumors. Well, you just need to tell them what happened. For now, we don't have enough information. I understand. See you later. See you later. I love you. Oh, I love you too. Never left to join the other members of the guard. My heart still feels very heavy. I wonder how the others are taking the news. The girls are here. I walked to them quietly. Alahir saw me. I can see her eyes are still wet with tears. Eri. Smile at her, put my hand on her shoulder, take her in my arms. Sure, let's hug her. Oh no, maybe not. No, I'm not going to stop crying because otherwise, it's good to cry sometimes. I know, but I'm exhausted. I just want to. She ran away. I'm sorry, Eri. Ellie needs me. Kero is devastated. Oh, of course he is. He's staring into space. He seems lost. I tried to engage him in conversation, but he didn't answer. He seems to have lapsed into deep silence. A few minutes later, a young woman with golden hair came to pick him up and take him to his room. We talked briefly. She seems very close to him. I'm relieved to see that he is not alone in this ordeal. Miko. She looked at me briefly before turning around and running away in the opposite direction. I ran after her. Something deep inside me tells me that she needs to talk to someone. Catch up with her. Leave her alone. Oh, catch up with her, I suppose. I caught up with her, and when I managed to get hold of her wrist, she froze. What are you doing? I don't know. I felt that you were not well. How could I be feeling well? She's right. It was a stupid comment. So to make it up to her, I went to her and took her in my arms. Eri, what are you doing? I'm just here for you. Stop! But I didn't let go of her. I even held her tighter so she would understand that I was really here for her. After a while, Miko stopped struggling and let everything out. Her pain is echoing mine, only it's stronger, desperate. She lost her best friend, a part of herself. Even if I had a few friends back on Earth, the bond was never as strong. Seeing the state that Miko was in, I better understand the despair and the sadness within Nevra and Ezreal. I wanted to surprise her. I thought she had left HQ. That's what her letter said, and I should have come earlier. Why did it take me so long? She might still be alive. Miko, don't say that. You probably wouldn't have been able to do anything. I should have stayed with her from the beginning. I should have never left her. Never. Come with me, Miko. Let's go to my room. You need peace and quiet. Okay. I opened the door to my room and invited Miko to come in. Feeling shy at first, I quickly made the kitsune comfortable and gestured for her to come and sit on my bed. A heavy silence settled in the room. I tried to break the silence several times, but I was unsuccessful. To be honest, I don't really know what to say to her. I imagine she needs to talk about Ikar, or maybe not. How could I know? Since I wasn't capable of starting a conversation, I just laid a compassionate hand on her shoulder. She looked at me and her eyes became wet with tears again. Then I suddenly knew what to say to her. Oh, are you the one who found Ikar's body? How long have you known Ikar? Do you want to sleep here? Oh, I don't know. Maybe this? Oh, sorry. Eri, I don't really feel like talking about it. Sorry. I understand. Do you want to stay the night? What? I'm guessing you don't feel like staying on your own, and it's getting late. Yes, you're right, but I don't have anything to change into. Don't worry about that. I opened my closet and found her something she could wear. We changed and then slid into bed. A few moments later, Neville knocked on the door, but when he saw that I was with Miko, he simply wished me good night. I returned to the bed. Sorry. It's alright. A long silence settled over the room before Miko broke it with a feverish voice. I knew Ikar since her arrival to HQ. I was still in training with my master. I immediately disliked her. She talked too much, she ran everywhere, and she never stopped drooling over Lance and his brother. I almost forgot that Ikar had always had a crush on Valkion. It doesn't surprise me that she had a thing for Lance too. Her and I argued a lot. Then one day, I understood that she was the way she was because she was seriously lacking in self-confidence. Once I understood this, I made an effort to get to know her better. So, what did you discover? A friend who would do anything for me. A friend who always supported me in front of the others, even if she didn't agree with my decisions. But you were always there for her too, weren't you? Like any good friend would do. It sounds like Ikar was a perfect friend. Let's go over this one. Yes, in the end, I think so. I supported her choices as much as I could, and her actions. Miko started crying again, and I held her in my arms. Her distress is so upsetting. I feel helpless. I have to find her murderer. I will make them pay for what they have done. Her murderer? Ikar was murdered. I shouldn't have said anything, but for a moment she hesitated, then she confided in me. She had gone to Ikar's room to set up an adorable surprise for her. A flubat? What is that? A distant cousin of the Sitork. Losing Mal, had really affected her, and I thought giving her a flubat would bring a little joy back into her heart. In her letter, she said she left for a few days. She was going to be returning soon, so I went to her room to hide a few clues about her surprise. You didn't think to yourself that nothing could replace Mal? I'm going to say Maul. It's spelled like Maul. I would have loved it if you had given me a surprise like that. Don't say that. That was so sweet of you. I'm actually curious about this one. I mean, she lost her companions really, recently. That wasn't my intention. I just wanted to help her move on. When I got to her room, she was lying on the floor, completely still. I saw immediately that someone had stabbed her. She was so white. Evelyn told me later that she had been dead for days. Her letter mentioning her trip away was a cover. It was most definitely written by the hand of a murderer. By the Oracle. How is this possible? I don't know. We continued to talk long into the night. Miko fell asleep first while I stayed awake, troubled by the recent events. Everything kept turning around in my head. The incessant images disturbed me and prevented me from getting sleep. I had a knot in my stomach from imagining the days ahead and, of course, the misfortunes ahead. I couldn't find anything positive in all of this darkness. The light was inaccessible to me. When I awoke the next day, the sadness had not left me, but I couldn't show it to Miko. I had to be there for her, and not the other way around. What do you think about going to lunch? Why not? I didn't eat yesterday, so I have to admit that I am quite hungry. Alright, let's go. I grabbed a meal tray for Miko and me. She took a bite and then started crying. Miko excused herself and explained that she wanted to be alone before she ran off. This caught me by surprise and I didn't know how to react. I stayed there, speechless, frozen in front of my meal tray. After a few minutes, I took a hold of myself and finished my meal. Each bite was painful because my throat felt so tight. I didn't want to be alone today. I have to find Nevra. He surely has the time for me. I approached Nevra and asked him if we could spend some time together. I would love to, but after everything that happened last night, the guard needs me more than ever. Good luck, Nevra, if there's anything I can do to help, but I also need you. Yes, but you're not the only leader of the guard. What is Ezreal doing? I'm gonna go with this one. Oh no, don't say that to me or I'm going to break. I need you. Aerie. Nevra captured me by the waist and pinned me against him. His lips moved all along my neck, and his hands were tense against my body. You are a wicked temptress. If I had 1 single second free, I would make that statement true. It's nice to hear that. I won't keep you any longer. We will see each other again as soon as possible. I can't wait. Well, there's nothing left to do but to find a way to occupy myself alone. Fresh air is doing wonders for me. I'm very glad I decided to come for a walk outside. After a moment, my thoughts turned back to Yukar, who would never again be with us. The more the hours went by, the more I realized that I would never spend time with her again. That I would never again hear her say, Aerie, I've been looking everywhere for you. I ran all over HQ, you know, or any other of her usual expressions. In a few hours, or maybe a few days, we will be at her burial. This thought crushed my already devastatingly broken heart. I stopped suddenly to really breathe in the fresh air of the wide plains. The wind is gently blowing across my face. The melody of the wind is slowly soothing my heart. I'm feeling a little better. I'm going to go for a walk along the beach. That will help me recharge even further. As soon as I got to the beach, I took off my shoes and let the softness of the ocean wrap around my feet. The water is tenderly tickling my feet. The smell of iodine and seaweed is really stimulating. I feel my energy returning bit by bit. If only I could share this healing energy with the other members of HQ to help ease their suffering. When I was ready to leave, my eyes were caught by a gathering of companions a little farther down the beach. What are they all doing over there? I got closer, and I thought I caught sight of a hand? By the Oracle, what is this? Oh my god. Is this going to be something bad again? I got closer to the body, and I waved my arms around so that the companions would move away from him or her. What? Oh my god. I was horrified when I realized that it was the body of Chrome. Are you? There was an enormous amount of blood on his clothes near his lower abdomen. As if someone had stabbed him, but there wasn't a trace of a weapon. No, not him. I cannot handle another death. Neither can I! Oh my god. What is going on? I immediately checked his pulse, trying to remember the basic first aid I had learned thanks to Evelyn. I placed 3 fingers on the side of Chrome's neck, hoping to feel a heartbeat, as weak as it may be. The seconds that passed felt like hours. I tried to calm my own heart that was beating hard in my chest, but to no avail. It was absolutely imperative that I concentrated completely on the sensations that my fingers detected. I couldn't miss his pulse. I forbade myself. Suddenly, I could feel something. Oh, thank God. Oh no, wait. He's a traitor too! Though, fleeting and faint, there were vibrations under my fingers, and I cried out with joy. Chrome is alive, and he is breathing. I have to bring him to HQ as fast as I possibly can. Come on, Chrome. Don't let go. Stay alive. I quickly rechecked his pulse. He is still breathing. I have to hurry. Rah. Chrome weighs a ton. I'm having a really hard time carrying him, but I must keep going. Please, Chrome, stay alive. Don't abandon me too. Help! I yelled as loud as I could so that the guards posted at the walls could understand my desperation. Without thinking, some of them left their positions and helped me carry Chrome. We have to go to the infirmary, right now. Once at the infirmary, everything happened very quickly. We carried Chrome in and placed him on the stretcher, and then we were immediately thrown out of the room. You can see him again after we stabilized his condition. Evelyn violently closed the door in our faces. Even if I understood why Evelyn preferred to keep people out of the room, I couldn't help but feel frustrated to have been thrown out. My heart was breaking at the idea that I might lose another friend, and my hands trembled like never before. Eri, what happened? I told her the whole story, my walk along the beach, Chrome's bruised and lifeless body, and the fact that I had to drag him to the infirmary. I couldn't stop myself from crying when Miko came closer to me to reassure me. Hang Hua is at her side. Don't cry, Eri. Chrome is in excellent hands. Everything you have done, all of the energy you conjured up to bring him here, is admirable. He will survive thanks to you. Are you going to be alright? Given what has happened, we aren't able to stay with you. Yes, don't worry. Don't fret too much, my beautiful Eri. Everything will be okay. We can't stay with you, but try to find some company. It's better if you're not alone right now, okay? I nodded without real conviction. They left, and I continued to cry big hot tears. If Chrome dies too, I don't know what I will do. Honestly, I don't think he's going to cry. I don't think he's going to die. I have to talk to someone. If not, I'm going to lose my mind. Kara ran quickly by me, his arms filled with medical supplies. Oluhua and Mathis were right behind him. Kara, what are you doing? We are bringing supplies to Evelyn. Was it really you that found Chrome? Yes. I'm so sorry. Can I do anything for you? Can you stay with me? No, you already have enough to do with Chrome. Save Chrome! I guess. All I do is bring the medical supplies, you know. That helps! So go, quickly! You're right, I'm going. I'll see you later. Kara gave me a smile, a little weak, but it warmed my heart. Leafdown is staring off into space. What are you thinking about? About Chrome, like everyone else, I assume. Yes, it's horrible what someone did to him. If I find whoever did this, I will kill them. And to imagine someone so despicable as roaming around HQ makes my blood run cold. I hope that the culprit is severely punished. You know, it is quite likely that the culprit is standing right in front of us. You know, just saying, because I don't know who else it could be. You know, Akar and then Chrome. It's pretty suspicious. Okay. I'm gonna choose either the first or the second one. I'm just like, which one will get the best reaction? I think I'm just gonna choose the second one. I agree with you. No, you don't. Leafden is even more pensive now. He must be concerned about finding the person who tried to kill Chrome. Okay, I'm not going to keep bothering you. I'm sure you have a lot to do. Like murdering someone else. Yes, true. I could be totally wrong, but I don't think I am for some reason. No, I am not going to calm down. Karen is yelling at the members of the guard who are standing around her. Do they know what has happened to Chrome? Eri, please tell me it isn't him. I'm begging you. I didn't know how to respond. I had a huge lump in my throat at the idea of telling her what happened to Chrome. Well, she really should know. Tell me the truth. Tell me it wasn't him. The words are stuck in my throat. It's him. It's Chrome. I don't know if I can tell you anything. The guard. No, she should know. She secretly loves him. No, but don't worry. He was alive when I found him, and it was you that found him. Where? On the beach. Okay. She left quickly without saying anything else. Oh. If I find whoever did that. Angry vampire dad. We don't know what happened. We don't even know who found him, Nevra, so don't get all worked up. It was me. What? I was the one who found Chrome on the beach. Really? Yes, do you think I'm lying? Miko didn't tell you? No, I'm kidding. I rolled my eyes. I really want to pick that. Why would I lie about something like that? Very funny. Oops. Never. Don't you see? She's still in shock. Do you need anything, Eri? Not really. I would like them both to stay with me, but they are far too busy and I can't blame them for not having time for me. Okay, I'm going to go and join the team at the beach and see if they have found any other clues about who may have tried to kill Chrome. Sounds good. I'm going to. The news is spreading at an impressive speed. Is it true, Eri? Is what true? That Chrome was found on the beach. I see that news spreads quickly. Yes, it was me that found him. By the Oracle, was he alive? When I found him, yes. Evelyn is taking care of him now. Okay, I have to go see Karen. She must be devastated. I didn't have time to say where Karen was going before Alahir took off. In the end, I didn't find anyone to console me. Everyone is very busy after what happened to Chrome. I feel selfish to want attention, but I feel truly awful. I hope that we hear good news soon. I cannot handle losing another friend. I left to be alone by the HQ fountain. When I got there, I kicked off my shoes and sank my feet into the cold, fresh water. I fully understand that not everything revolves around me, but I have never in my life felt so alone and so abandoned. Luckily, Pearl arrived and he understood my distress. Oh, Pearl. I love him. Well, my darling, what are you doing here? I was looking for a bit of company. In such an isolated corner. No one has time for me right now, and I understand, so I left to be alone, and I decided to come here. I see. At the same time, it's not easy, everything that has been going on at HQ right now, between Lance breaking the crystal, the death of the little brownie, and the attempted murder of the wolf. I know. Come, walk with me. I will take care of you for a little while. Aww. Why are you so nice to me? You paid for my haircut, and now... What do you expect? The Pericos wear their heart on their sleeves. I feigned a smile. Or maybe he hopes to ask me for something later. Nothing comes free from the Pericos. No, I love him. I followed Pearl until we got to the market, where I crossed paths with Karen, who was talking wildly with Alahir. It's true, you're not messing with me. I'm telling you, I heard Miko talking to Panghua. She is looking for you so she can tell you the good news. The good news? Eri, you arrived at the perfect moment. Miko is also looking for you. Karen is crying her eyes out and Alahir mentioned good news. Does this mean that Chrome is pulled through? Chrome is okay. Yes, at least that's what I think I heard. I have to go to the infirmary to find out. I'll follow you. We arrived at the infirmary in a fury. We burst open the doors without caring who or what was around us. What are you doing here? Don't you see that we're very, very busy? Chrome, how are you? Evelyn, who seemed angry at first, immediately calmed down. He's doing well. He is pulled through. Unfortunately, he is in a deep coma. I don't know when he will come out of it. That is great news. Well, yes and no. Chrome, by the Oracle. She rushed to his bedside and very tenderly took his hand. Please wake up. I have so many things to tell you. I forbid you to leave me here alone. You don't have the right because I looked at Evelyn with so many emotions and tears in my eyes. Well, it took her a long time to realize how she felt about him. Oh yeah, I hope that Chrome wakes up soon. He has been waiting for this for a long time. I'm sure he is more than ready to finally be with her. Eri, it's not that I want to kick you out, but Chrome needs things to be calm right now. I obviously can't ask Karen to leave, so don't worry. I just wanted to know how he was doing. Very well. All we have left to do is wait for him to open his eyes. Can you do something for me? Of course, what is it? Let Miko know how Chrome is doing. I can't leave the infirmary right now. Yes, of course, I'll do it. I tried to enter the crystal room, even if I was afraid to see the crystal in such a pitiful state. But the new seal on the door seems to have decided not to let me pass. I have to find a way to contact Miko. Wait patiently. Cry out to her. Wait patiently, I guess. I'm not just going to stand at the door and yell. I waited patiently for her to exit the crystal room. After all, I have nothing better to do, right? She came out of the room a good half hour later. Eri, what are you doing here? Chrome is safe and sound. Really? Oh, by the Oracle. She let herself cry a few tears of joy, and so did I without holding back. Well, good news. I'm going to go see him. Miko left immediately for the infirmary. Huang Hua came out of the crystal room with the same smile on her face. After all of the tragic events that we have lived through, we can finally enjoy a moment of joy. My heart felt lighter, and in the days that followed, I was much more serene and relaxed. Even if Chrome was still in a coma, he wasn't in danger. However, I didn't have much time to think about my favourite werewolf. Miko entrusted me with a new mission. What is it about? It seems that the Myconides are once again uncontrollable. God, what are they doing? But nothing is certain. They are hiding out again in the caves. Also, I haven't received any news from Leodil. Miko explained to me that she had gone back to her family for a few days, and Milo had gone with her. Also, a terrible epidemic has rampaged through the lands of the Fenhuangs. That is why I need you to go to these 2 regions with the other members of the Guard. Miko, I don't want to defy your authority, but I am far too worried about finding Valkion and Lance to be effective in these missions. Yes! Yes! Let's go and find them, please! I know, but for the moment, our leads have gotten us nowhere. So you will go to Belemvia, then to the Fenhuangs. In other words, Miko is saying, shut up and obey me. Great. You leave in 2 hours. Oh, okay, I'll go and prepare for my journey then. I'm so angry. Between Yakar's murder, Chrome's condition, and the fact that we can't find Valkion, I really don't understand Miko's decision. Sending me to the other side of the world to resolve the problems of Eldaria. I'm not the only member of the Guard. But as I pondered this, I brutally realized how selfish she was. She was? I don't think that's what she meant. What am I saying? If Miko is sending me on these kinds of missions, it's because she trusts me after all. Even if I only want one thing, to find Valkion and Lance, I shouldn't forget that above all, I am a member of the Guard of El. It is my duty to respond to the diverse missions that are entrusted to me. Okay, Eri, concentrate and remember that you are going to help a lot of people in need. Alright, I'm ready. I just have to say goodbye to my friends and then I can leave. Alahir is here, alone. Since Chrome was attacked, Karen hasn't left his bedside. You're leaving for Belemvia and the lands of the Fenhuangs. Yes. Will you take care of Kalaya? It's her first mission and I don't want anything to happen to her. Ah, Kalaya is coming with me. I didn't know. But I guess Miko didn't tell me anything about who I'd be going with. Without Yakar to organize the missions, it seems that Miko is a bit lost. Yes, I will keep an eye on her, don't worry. Nothing will happen to her, I promise. You should have more confidence in her. Kalaya will be able to manage on her own. Let's go this one, because I really can't promise anything, you know? Thank you. Well, take care of yourself too. As for you, watch over Karen. We had like old friends. This time, a part of me is afraid to leave HQ. Eri, wait. Kero, what's wrong? Take care of yourself. He handed me a canvas bag. What is this? A protection charm. Keep it on you always, understand? I lost your car and someone wanted to kill Chrome. And I refuse to let anything bad happen to you. But I have no charm to offer you in return. Sorry, but I don't believe in these types of charms. Okay. Don't just say that. Okay. No, let's go with the first one. That's not the goal of this present. I don't expect you to offer me anything. I know, I'm just embarrassed to accept this without being able to give you something too. So, you don't want it? I saw the panic in his eyes. Yes, of course. Phew. Why do I feel like this is the last time that I'm going to be at HQ? This is the last time something terrible is going to happen and we're never going to come back here. I couldn't stop myself from going by the infirmary to see how Chrome was doing. He's stable for the moment, but he is still in a deep coma. Okay, will you send us a companion if he happens to wake up? Of course, be sure to take care of yourself right now. You too. Before leaving, I went over to Chrome and I placed my hand softly on his. Don't abandon me, little wolf. Even if you were a moron at first, I love you too much to see you go. Then I laid a kiss on his forehead. Karen is glued to his bedside, but she is sleeping right now. I passed my hand through her hair and kissed her on the cheek. Oracle, if you can hear me, if you can, do something to make Chrome wake up. Now that Karen has found her love for him, you can't rip that away from them. Alright, it's time. We are leaving for Belenvia. I'm really afraid of what lies ahead. She keeps saying that, which makes me think it's foreshadowing. I still have the feeling that this journey is going to bring me more surprises than expected. Yep, more foreshadowing. I'm guessing these are my comrades for the adventure. There's Huanghua, Kalaya, Chimeria, Mathers, Valarian, and Nevra, along with the other 3 members of the guard that I've never talked to. That makes a nice little group. We started our journey and it took a few days. I think, in all honesty, it felt longer than usual. Once again, dawn and twilight seemed to follow each other much faster than normal. At least, that's what it seemed like to me. When we finally arrived at Belenvia, a magnificent sun shone in the sky. I wonder what these infamous problems are that the inhabitants here are dealing with. Immediately after we arrived, the village mayor welcomed us and explained to us in great detail what has been happening in Belenvia. As Miko had said, the Myconides have been locked up in the caves after they had some incidents between themselves and the village's inhabitants. Never asked for more details. I invite you to question the villagers. What I am able to tell you is that since a few weeks ago, we have lost all communications with the Myconides. We have placed numerous provisions in front of their cave, but they haven't taken them in. I'm afraid they are slowly letting themselves die. How horrible. No! Why? Why is everything in this episode so horrible? I see. Huanghua, Mia, we need to speak together. Yes, we have a lot to discuss, I think. While we talk things over, I want each of you to take on some tasks. Valarian, I would like for you to study the cave's surroundings with Chimeria and Kalaya. Try to find a way that we can enter the caves. See if there are any underground tunnels that would give us an easy access. Olahua, Mathers, Hios. When we find the Myconides, they are going to be, without a doubt, starving. We will need as many potions as possible to help them. Understood. Eri, and the other 2, go and question the villagers. Never left immediately to talk with Huanghua and the mayor. My team and I decided to go interrogate the villagers, each of us taking our own section of the village. This is honestly so boring. So boring. It's the Myconides. I saw one among us before they closed themselves in, like the caves, like cowards. Excuse you? He deliberately blew poison onto my grandson. What did you do to them? Grandma, he just sneezed and it didn't even touch me. The tension is still palpable between certain villagers and the Myconides. I'd better be careful how I approach this. Thank you for sharing this information with me. I'll take note of it. I approached one of the villagers and they confirmed that they had seen a green haze that looked to be coming from the caves of Belenvia, despite the boulders that block their access. Oh, I really don't want to go back into those caves. It's like the last time. This villager seems less inclined to give more information. Anything that you can tell us will help us solve this problem. Everything has been going well since we joined forces with the Myconides. I don't want a new quarrel to burst out between our 2 peoples. I understand, and we came here to prevent that from happening. We want to understand what happened so we can find a way to fix everything. Okay, well, he pushed back the sleeves on his tunic. The skin on his arms is necrotic. This happened to me before they locked themselves in the caves. I was collecting moss in the caves. A Myconide came to see me and he touched me here. Since then, I feel like I have gangrene. Oh wow, why haven't you seen a doctor? I told you because I don't want any more wars. Go to our camp and explain your situation. One of our nurses will take care of you, and I promise this will stay between us. Tell them I sent you. Thank you. Well, this isn't reassuring. We didn't see anything like this the last time. I arrived at the village centre at the same time as the other 2. The 3 of us waited patiently in front of the mayor's office. This allowed me to get to know them a little better. Darfin is a young woman who has been part of the guard for a few years. She isn't in the same guard as me, but I now remember that we've crossed paths many times. Yetta, meanwhile, has not been in the guard for a long time. However, he has been assigned to the mission because he knows the rituals and customs of the Myconides very well. His help will be precious. After a good half hour, Huanghua and Nevra came out of the building. So, what information have you gathered? All of the evidence seems to reveal a new poisoning of the Myconides. Like when there was a piece of corrupted crystal. Yes, in my opinion, there is a new piece. If that's the case, this is very bad news. We can't waste any more time then. Let's meet up with Chimeria and the others so we can find a way into those caves. This episode is so far, well, I mean, it was really dark earlier with all the stuff with your car, but now it's just really boring. Chimeria, have you found a way to enter the caves? Valerian and the girls are here. They took off the masks. By the disappointed looks on their faces, it seems they haven't found anything. Nothing, except for the mechanized tunnels which they blocked. There is no way into their cave, by land or by water. I'm sorry to not have been so helpful. I told you, little one, no apologizing. You did as best you could, and that's what counts. We have to find a way to get into these caves. Why don't we explode the boulders? Yeah, dynamite! Explode? When we were on the island, Lance performed a ritual to open the door of the dragons. I believe it was a black magic ritual. Yeah, sure, let's just do some black magic. I remember that I heard an explosion in the distance, and when I arrived in front of the door of the dragons, there was a brown haze. Did you smell something like blood or sulfur? Yes, exactly. Was it the ire of Titans? There's a chance. If we want to try to blow up the boulders, we have everything we need back at camp. It's worth a try. I have some experience in this field. I could help you all with this. Valerian, Chimeria, go to camp and get the necessary equipment to build the bomb. Yes. Never. Stay here with Eri. I'm going to tell the mayor what we are about to do. We stayed put and waited for everyone to return. Everything happened really fast. The materials were put in place and the ritual started. Kalaya recited the incantation in a language completely unknown to me. I admire her knowledge of such things, and I wonder how a mermaid could be acquainted with rituals so terrestrial. Titan is, after all, a deity bound to the earth, not to the sea. The detonation happened very quickly, and like the time on the island, it was extremely loud. I saw the same bronze haze as the last time. When the haze dissipated, we discovered a passage into the cave. Nevra, Mankua, and I volunteered to go in and find the piece of corrupted crystal. And of course, it must be said that I know these caves well. I had spent numerous hours lost in their chambers. Yep, and I really don't want to go back in there. But it looks like I have no choice. A Myconide is here. It seems to be hiding. Hey, little one, what's wrong? Miss Eri, don't come near me. I give boils to people. I don't want to hurt you. It ran away. Oh, hello. I think he's trying to tell me something in my language. Poison not controlled. He left to tell the other Myconides and they disappeared into the dim light. Ah! A noise came from the distance, but when I arrived to the origin of the sound, there was nothing, except for a pile of ashes and some sort of viscous liquid. What is this? There's also some sort of rotten smell that's making me nauseous. We would be better off not touching that. We have thoroughly explored the caves, retracing our steps again and again, but there isn't the smallest trace of corrupted crystal. What if this time the problem is coming from the Myconides themselves? I have to find out. We have to go see the Myconides in their village. I was thinking the same thing. When we arrived at the Myconides' nest, the sight made me feel sick. They were all there, suffocating, dying. I rushed to them in a complete panic. What's wrong? Why are they in this state? The poison, it has become uncontrollable. Leodil has become dull, like she herself has become uncontrollable. What can we do to help? There is a way. How? What can we do? Leodil told me about a magic ritual that can contain the poison of the Myconides. But to perform this ritual, one of the Myconides would have to take in all of the poison of the others, which would lead to its death. Why? Why more death? I refuse to impose such a sacrifice onto the Myconides. If this will save my nephew, then I will do it for my people. No, Leodil, you cannot do this. Milo needs you, and you, what? Leodil. I'm pregnant. That is why I have returned to be among my people. No, we definitely cannot ask for such a sacrifice. We cannot ask that of any of you. It must happen, and as quickly as possible. Everyone is dying, myself included. I will die if we don't do anything. We will find a solution. There is no other way. It is then that a Myconide, very elderly, volunteered to sacrifice himself. He explained that he has already accomplished everything he had hoped to in his lifetime. I couldn't help but shed a tear seeing how ready he was to do anything for his people. I'm sorry, but you all cannot stay. This ritual requires the Myconides to be alone. Leodil, I understand. Why didn't they do this earlier? Why did it take us showing up for them to do it? Oh, I hate those caves. They are the worst to navigate. While we were leaving the cave, Kalaya came to ask us what happened. There was also a crowd of villagers that gathered here after they heard the explosion. I couldn't respond. I'm too upset with the thought of what is about to happen with the Myconides. Never explained everything, and I heard the cries of horror among the crowd. We cannot let them sacrifice anyone. Each word that tries to break the barrier of my lips is painful, so I choose to keep silent. It was at this moment that a wave of heat swept across us. I understood that the sacrifice had been made. An opaline haze seeped out from the caves and surrounded us for a few short seconds. A few minutes later, the Myconides came out of the caves. They had regained their vitality and their colours, but at what price? Leodil came closer to the villagers, who welcomed her with joy. Seeing that all of the Myconides were starving, the Belenvians brought them numerous commodities. Everything ended well, but once again, I was marked by death. We stayed one more day so that we could assure ourselves that everything was returning to order. It was now time to leave. All that's left to do is gather our belongings at camp. Oh my god, yay, we're leaving. Where are we going to go next? I gathered my things and we left immediately. I want to flee these lands as fast as possible. Thinking about the sacrifice the Myconides had to make is making me nauseous. I hope we can solve the problem at the Fenfangs without sacrificing any lives. Okay, let's go. This is taking so long. Oh my god. I had only just begun to walk through the lands of the Fenfangs, and I already felt at home. I took in a deep breath of the invigorating and pleasant air of the immense plains. It felt wonderful, and I couldn't stop a smile from slowly creeping onto my face. I have always felt at peace on these lands, as if they were charged with positive energy that they generously shared with me. But this calm wasn't going to last for long. Foreshadowing! Well, what happened? Where is Ziv? He is very sick, Phoenix Apprentice. What? I want to see him immediately. We put him in your room. You did what? Oh, that was the right choice. Huang Hua followed her servant, and we did the same. Ziv! He is lying on the bed and he can barely speak. Stay quiet and conserve your energy. You! What is happening to him? What is happening to everyone? We are facing a violent epidemic that is demolishing our forces. What does that mean? It seems that right now, Mr. Fang Zifu no longer has his natural immunity, nor his regenerative abilities. He is plagued by many diseases, and if we don't find a solution, he will die. No, I cannot let that happen. Who else is sick? This person made a long list of all those who were ill. It's a considerable list. I don't know if we are going to be able to save everyone. I can't handle seeing any more death around me. I left Huang Hua's room in tears. She found me a few seconds later. Don't cry, Eri. We'll find a solution. I think the crack in the crystal is what is causing these changes in our powers. We will have to redouble our efforts in terms of medicine. Follow me. Once again, Huang Hua has taken control of the situation with a great amount of confidence and diplomacy. She was very positive with all of the Fenfangs, seeking not to arouse fear or dread in the hearts of her people. She chooses her words very carefully. I admire this about her. She has entrusted numerous tasks to the people present here. For my part, I must collect certain ingredients in order to prepare a remedy that will strengthen the powers of the Fenhuangs. The list of ingredients is precise. I know exactly where I need to go. However, this is going to take a few hours. Just like this video. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure that birthday cake wasn't in the list of things to get, but okay. Fantastic. I know these plants well. I had to collect the same ones the last time I was here. And they didn't look like a cake. I still have ingredients to find. I went to mount that thing, and I addressed the spirits of the forest. I know I'm late, but the Fenhuangs are very sick. A mysterious epidemic is killing them. Might you have something that could cure them? Keeping my eyes closed, I continued to beg. It was then that I heard footsteps. Someone or something was approaching me. I didn't open my eyes because I was afraid I would scare the creatures, but I feel they are there, close to me. Then, the sound stopped and the energy mysteriously disappeared. I think I'm alone again. I cautiously opened my eyes and I realized that they left me ajar and a letter written in what seems to be Chinese. I'm not able to translate it, but I imagine that Huanghua will understand what it is, and I don't doubt that it will be of great use to us. Thank you, spirits. I still have some ingredients to find. Oh, I thought they might have left me another birthday cake, but nope. Here, Huanghua asked me to collect flowers. According to her, these flowers are an important catalyst that increase the healing powers of the remedy. Let's hope this works. I have collected all the ingredients. I must bring them to Huanghua. Huanghua, I have everything you asked me to collect. Really? Great. She carefully looked at the writing on the jar that the spirits had left for me. This is more than I could have hoped for. How did you manage to find this? I told the spirits that the Fenhuangs were very sick and that they were in need of their help. By the oracle, without a doubt they felt the crystal essence inside of you. What they offered us is magnificent. What is it exactly? Their souls. What? What? Well, sort of. It is something that strongly resembles their souls, to be honest. Thanks to this, we will be able to stabilize most of our patients. We will also be able to create a vaccine to prevent further sickness. We will prepare the potion and distribute it to all of the inhabitants. I hope that it will help them. In just a few hours, Olahua had prepared enough remedies and vaccines for everyone. All that was left to do was to distribute them and to hope that they were effective. There are a few Fenhuangs who are in wheelchairs. I approached them and gave them some vaccines. They thanked me warmly. Say, is it you who is distributing the vaccines? Yes, it's me. How many do you need? There are 3 of us in my family. How do we take the medicine? You just need to drink it. It should strengthen your magical energy and allow you to regain your Fenhuang powers if you have lost them. Thank you so much. There is a group of young Fenhuangs playing a ball game and they seem to be in great shape, unlike all the other patients I have seen so far. I gave them some vaccines and they thanked me. I'm only doing my job. I gave the last remedy in my possession to a very small girl who was losing her hair by the handfuls. She thanked me immensely and I felt my heart tighten as I watched her leave with joy in her steps. If the state of the crystal is really at the origin of these problems, we have a big problem on our hands. That's when my stomach grumbled with hunger. I hope it's mealtime soon. The Fenhuangs have the habit of eating all together, therefore I must wait to eat with them. I went to the dining hall with hopes of smelling the delicious aromas of Fenhuang cooking, but when I arrived, the ovens were off and the cooks were just arriving. Can I offer my help? Oh, don't you worry about it, Mademoiselle Airy. You have already done so much to help us. If they don't need my help, I'm not going to stay here and risk getting in their way. I will take this opportunity to walk around a bit. This region is so magnificent, so much to do around here. Yeah, that's how you do it, beautiful. Like this? I saw Kalia jump with a spear in one hand, before landing back on the ground in a whirlwind. It looks like one of those dragon knights in a video game. I was so impressed that I started applauding. What are you doing here? Are you spying on me? No. No, I was passing through here by chance. It's impressive, Kalia. You are so agile. Thank you. I train a lot. Chimeria, can we continue? Chimeria and Kalia return to their training. They are very admirable. After a few hours, I saw numerous Fenwangs assembling. I instantly understood that it was mealtime, and I went to the kitchen. I took a seat next to Nevra, who gave me a gentle kiss on the cheek. Like always, the meal was incredibly delicious. The Fenwang cuisine seemed to be inspired by Chinese and Thai cuisines. Sometimes it was very spicy, and then suddenly very mild. I was in total admiration of their savoir-faire. Everything we eat here is wonderful. I love it. Things have changed since the HQ. With that said, Karudo has drastically improved since you arrived. It must be said that for a while he was content to make nutritious dishes without paying attention to taste. I wonder what motivated him in his new passion. I don't know. Chimeria doesn't know that I had got into a little argument with Karudo after I criticized his cooking. While I was casually chatting with Chimeria, Huanghua stood up as if she was going to make a speech. My friends, once again the meal was a marvel for our stomachs and our hearts. I had an excellent evening, and your presence by my side has given me the strength to continue forwards. We are currently making our way through numerous crises that can all be explained by the sad news that we are all able to feel. That wave of shock that we felt a few weeks ago. By the Oracle, she is announcing to the Fenwangs what has happened at HQ. A man, an enemy of the God, the same man who attempted to break the crystal a few years ago, has succeeded in his mission. The crystal exists no longer. Instead of hearing cries of astonishment, I heard sighs. It appears that the Fenwangs are not surprised by this news. With Miko, we have decided that the Fenwangs of the temple will move to HQ until we can find a solution. However, in the state we are in, the move is impossible. First, we must heal our brothers and sisters before joining those at HQ to fight against the end of this world. Wow. Unlike unlike when Miko speaks, no one insults Huanghua or cuts her off. She is completely transparent with the Fenwangs, who, in turn, accept the news as rationally as possible. I am impressed. Of course, those who wish to stay here may stay here, but I would love to have each one of you by my side at HQ. I will follow you no matter what, Lady Huanghua. Me too, Phoenix Apprentice. I will go also. Me too. One by one, the Fenwangs stood up. The members of the Guard of Val, myself included, were the only ones in the room left seated. Thank you, my friends. Start to prepare your things. We will leave as soon as our brothers and sisters are back on their feet. The meal finished with joy. My heart was glowing while I reflected on this new union with the Fenwangs. I wonder how my adventures in Eldaria would have been if I had landed here instead of at HQ. So much better! I have to finish something real quick. I'll meet you in the bedroom as soon as I finish. Is that alright? Never snap me out of my thoughts. That works. You know, I feel like I don't even have a boyfriend in this episode. We've barely even seen him. This dinner with everyone has really warmed my heart. Finally, I am starting to feel a bit of happiness. And Huanghua's announcement that the Fenwangs would come to HQ really surprised me. I'm surprised that Miko and the guys hid this information from me. I guess since I'm not a member of the Light Guard, it's normal that I wouldn't know everything. While trying not to think too much about all of this, I start to undress myself. I fell onto the bed, exhausted, and I fell asleep instantly. I woke up a few hours later with Nevra curled in my arms. He opened his eyes a few seconds later and stole a soft kiss. His lips were so soft that I couldn't pull back right away. I felt a warm and intoxicating energy. I wanted to feel his mouth all over my body. Oh, here we go. Although we have never made love together, I began to doubt myself. Wait, what? What? Am I ready to cross this line? What are you talking about? We already did it. Oh my god. My heart beat 1,000 beats. Wait, my heart beat 1,000 beats per second while I lost myself in his gaze. Yes, I am ready to offer myself to him. No, I'm still not ready. What is happening? I'm pretty sure this has already happened between them. More sure of myself than ever, I stood up and let the strap of my shirt fall to the side as an invite for him to finally enjoy me completely. I'm so confused. Never raised an eyebrow as he watched me do this and bit his lip. Seeing that this excited him, I repeated the same thing with the second strap, which finally revealed my chest, completely nude. Without hesitating, his lips came to rest on the hardened tip of my left breast. His bites, which were meant to be sweet, caused me to cry out in surprise. Never stopped dead in the moment. But I didn't want him to stop. Quite the opposite. I pulled on his hair so that he would push his kisses on me more, so that he would feed on so that he would feed on me until he couldn't continue anymore. Oh, bite me, never. I'm so confused. I'm so sure this has already happened. Oh my god. Without a second's pause, Never moved his lips just above my chest. Slowly, his fangs penetrated my skin. I let out another cry, this time in pleasure. A pleasure so intense and intoxicating that I abandoned myself completely. I didn't feel any pain this time, just the sensation of being completely at peace. The ecstasy this vampire filled me with, rattled inside of me, was something that could be described as bestial. While Never fed himself on my blood, drinking from my body, I felt my fingers and toes tingle slightly. I released my grip on his hair and let my arms fall to my sides. I didn't have any more strength. I was completely submerged in the pleasure that engulfed my body. The sensation of blood leaving my body was something exquisite. Really? My breaths became shorter and shorter, and strange, hypnotic images entered my mind. A forest whose cold and violent waterfall disturbed its tranquility. A raging, devouring ocean whose waves crashed against the cliffs. And then a calm Olympian, at peace. I had the impression that I was sharing these thoughts with Never, that I was feeling the passion that lived inside of his violence, hidden at his core. I then understood that he was holding something back. This raging sea, the untamed waterfall. I wanted to taste it. Never. His eyes, whose irises betrayed the burning desire that inhabited him, were fixed on me. Without another word, he understood what I wanted. Without interrupting our union, he lifted me from the bed and pressed me against the windows at the back of the room? Okay. The cold glass gave me a shiver while I felt his pelvis push against mine. Oh fuck, I knew this was gonna happen. Oh god. My cheeks were on fire and my throat vibrated from my incessant cries of pleasure. If I can find the illustration, I'll put it in here somewhere. With my eyes closed, I concentrated on the sensations of my body, and especially on the tingles that had spread from my fingers and toes into my whole body. Focusing on this prevented me from thinking about what was happening. The only thing I had to do was enjoy this pleasure that Never was giving me, and this took my breath away. I enjoyed every second spent in his arms. I fed myself on this moment that ferociously led me towards pure ecstasy. The sound of breaking glass brought me... Did you break the windows? The sound of breaking glass brought me sharply into reality, and at the same time Never uttered a final cry of pleasure. As for me, my body was shaking with spasms for a while afterwards. I was completely emptied of energy. Weary, we let ourselves slide to the ground to catch our breath. When I stood up, I saw a crack in the glass window. I glanced at Never, who, still on the ground, kissed my thigh before pulling me against him. If the Finfangs charge us for that, it will be you that pays for it. Don't worry, I'll just put it on the guard's bill. We just have to say that a training session went awry. I would like to remind you that I am not in your guard. And so, I don't have the right to teach you a few things. And what was it that you were teaching me? Without warning, Never put his left arm around my throat and somehow managed to grab my right wrist with it. I am completely immobilized. How to defend yourself in a hold like this? It's true that a few extra courses in self-defense would be welcomed. Try to escape my grip. Really? Now? I don't know how I could get out of his hold. Never is much stronger than me. The longer you take, the longer I'll have to do this. Not pleased to only electrify me with his soft voice, Nevra placed his lips on my shoulder and gently nibbled on it. Then, with his free hand, he caressed my stomach before slowly reaching lower and lower until he reached the still undressed place between my thighs. I no longer had any desire to escape his arms. Instead, I wanted more than anything else to unite with him. My desire for Nevra was insatiable. I wanted him again and again. We made love until the early morning, until I fell asleep from exhaustion. The next morning, I was woken up by one of Huang Hua's servants. Miss Airy, Sir Nevra, a companion has a message for you both. Please let this be the end of the episode, please. Follow me to the main square. Huang Hua is here and she's holding the message in her hands. Airy, Nevra, it's a message from Miko. Show us. Falcon, oh my god, okay. Falcon and Lance were seen heading towards the land of the Kappas. I sent a team to find out more. Return to HQ as soon as you can. Miko. What? Oh my god, I knew that was gonna be the end. Okay. This episode was freaking long, and to be honest, I didn't like anything about it. Like, I can't think of one thing that I liked about it, apart from, like, maybe the promise of seeing Lance and Falcon in the next episode. Oh, but anyway, that was episode 27. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and remember to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!